Hello and welcome back to RADBMX Builds. I first want to start off by saying thank you to all the new people that subscribe to this channel, and if you haven't yet, please be one of those people. But I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Sean and I'm the owner of RADBMX Builds. I am a old school BMX collector and builder, and I like to highlight, showcase some of those builds on this channel. So you're going to find lots of rad content, anything from newer retro style bikes all the way back to some early 80s builds. Today I got a special episode for you. I'm going to show you what I currently have here in my shop in Newport Beach, California, where I'm located. I do have a lot of other bikes in my personal collection located in my storage unit somewhere in Arizona. You might see that on some other videos. But for now, I want to get started and go down the lineup of what I have here in Newport Beach, starting with my 1987 GT Performer, restored and signed by Eddie Fiola. Okay, here is my original OG Chrome 1987 GT Performer. I got this bike complete with some incorrect parts, but this is the original chrome finish, which I polished up the best that I could, and then got Eddie Fiola to sign this right there on the frame. I would give the frame an 8.5 out of 10 for condition, but it is 35 years old, and I did have to polish out a lot of surface rust, but it has a lot of original pieces, such as the original seat post, handlebars, frame, forks, fork standers, Odyssey brakes, cheese grater sprocket, and seat post clamp, and I think that's about it besides the brake levers. The other things I replaced were the wheels, tires, chain, pedals, and I added the pads to it. But other than that, she's original, she's beautiful, it's not for sale, it's probably going to go to my collection, but there it is, the 1987 GT Performer. Next up, I have a bike I finished just moments ago. This is my 1985 Redline 500B. This is also an original chrome bike with a lot of retro parts and a lot of old school parts and a lot of restoration. So kind of a hybrid mix between all of these things to create one rad bike. Let's take a look. I'm really happy with the way this bike came out with its original decals and chrome finish, but I put on a lot of repop parts, but you can see what great condition this bike is in. The dropouts were nearly flawless. I added Skyway wheels to it, Comp 3 type tires, the MKS pedals, which are reminiscent of the KKTs. That is a new old stock Tioga powered disc, which I ripped out of the plastic from 1980 something to put on this bike. And you can see the chrome is great. Got an MX 1000 side pull brake, Tongi seat post clamp, and then a Velo seat with the lightning bolt in it, just like the original 500Bs came with, and a Sun Tour type stem. So I added some Amy grips, Dicomp MX levers, the light blue cable which complements the logo and design, and some other light blue parts. If I spin you around to the other side, you see the mushroom bearing cap on there also, and the light blue dice. So I'm real proud of this bike. Also going to go into the collection because I just don't have an old school Redline because I sold my other one and I kind of regret that. So I bought this one, built it, couldn't be happier with it. Hope you like it too. Let's see what's next. This next bike is really rad, a one-of-one 24-inch Dyno Pro Comp Team model. That's a mouthful. This is one of the red bikes that you could have bought, but I went full custom on it to make it look like the 1987 Dyno Pro Comp Team models. I always wanted one of those 1987 ones from the day it came out. I remember going to the bike shop and seeing it. But when I saw the 24-inch platform, I thought, what an epic rider. I just needed to make it look like it should have in the first place. No, I mean, no disrespect, Dave Volker, but it should have looked like it did in 1987, but just on a newer platform. So I went ahead and I took the liberty to do that myself here at RADBMX Builds, but I know you want to see it. It's right behind me. Let's take a look. Freshly powder coated all black, re-decaled, and then I just went ham on it. I went and put the GT mallet stem, the Dicomp Nippon type front brake. I put a gyro on it. I put the black fork standers, the yellow caps. I put the Kenda tires on it. It already came with the crank set, but I found some black platforms for the rear and put those on. And I also grabbed a double bolt seat clamp, put a sticker on it, drain pipe type seat post, a Dominator seat until I get my hands on an affordable dyno seat. But I'm really happy with the way this bike came out. Something else I did is I ditched the cruiser bars for the BMX pretzel bars, which are way better. I topped it off with Tech 77 locking levers. It's an Odyssey gyro. And then you got to give the little touches, the little yellow caps on the wires. I got one on the back too. And I have two sets of wheels for this, the GT Super Laced Hub spoked version, and then I have some 24-inch black Skyways, which I just got tires for today, so I'll easily switch them back and forth. They're the same tires that are on the spoke wheels, so I won't have to swap them out. I'll just be able to swap wheel sets. So there it is, my Dyno Pro Comp team model in 24-inch, and it is a great rider. Hope you like that bike. Leave a comment if you do down below. Let's see what I got next. Next up, you may have seen this bike if you're watching these YouTube videos. This is the brand new chrome Monza 24-inch bike. I am going to be listing this bike for sale later today, so by the time you see this video, it's probably already sold. The best way to find out if I'm selling a bike is in the Instagram account, and that is RADBMXBUILDS. So if you're not following the Instagram, please make sure you get over there and follow that, because you will see real-time posts on when things are going to go up for sale. And I only sell things on the website at RADBMXBUILDS.com. Not through Instagram. You'll find out on Instagram, buy it on the website. That's how I do things around here, but I want to show you this bike. Enough about business, let's get down to it and see this brand new custom build. Okay, here it is, a brand new chrome Monza 24-inch bike, and I did a full build on this, and I put on, let's start with the wheels. This is a full custom wheel build with blue, or bright blue is what they call it, sealed bearing high flange hubs. I put blue anodized nipples on a sun rim, which are Rhino-like chrome 24s, and I put on the Tioga Power Block 24 by 1.60. So these are a little narrower than a 1.75, but these are amazing tires, fast. This is almost like just an awesome fast race bike build. I did add a blue spacer in here and a blue SE Gnarler stem, but I retained the Tongi stem cap. This already came with a set of really awesome bars. These are the Monza Bars, but I replaced the brake lever with the Dicomp MX2. I retained the Tongi grips that come on this bike, and then I retained the Monza seat since it is padded and it's a nice seat, but I added a blue fluted seat post to this bike. I replaced the Tongi seat post clamp with a bright blue Tongi seat post clamp, and then I replaced the rear brakes with the Dicomp MX2 V brakes in blue. Come down to the rear, you see the matching blue sealed bearing high flange hub, axle nuts, again with the blue nipples on the chrome wheel, blue valve stem cap in there, and then the crank set. These are Pro BMX Sun Tour style cranks from Australia with matching blue pedals, and this bike is just simply awesome. And again, a custom build, and I need to give credit here to Monza. They make such an awesome bike. If you don't have a Monza bike, you need to get one. Thank you, Monza, for supporting me in these builds. And MonzaBC.com if you're looking for one of these bikes, or try to grab one of mine if I'm selling it. Let's see what I got next. This next bike is very special, and I can't wait to share it with you. Again, if you're following the Instagram, you've probably seen this bike, I even did a video on it, but it's one of my favorite currently in my collection here in Newport Beach. I ride it several times a week. It compliments all the time, but before I show it to you, I always have to thank the people that help me get these bikes and help me and support me in these builds. First off, Race Inc. Thank you for making this bike. It's absolutely rad. It's limited, it's unique, and I couldn't love it more. Again, Night Bike Company. George, thank you. Night Bike Company, awesome. Great supporter of RADBMX Builds, and I support them. Thank you for making such quality parts to build with these bikes with. Okay, let's get to it. The Pink Pig, the 26-inch bubblegum pink Race Ink Cruiser. Now, I went a little crazy on this bike because it's kind of my daily, and I like riding it, and I just love the color. So let's take a look. Okay, here it is, the Race Ink RA26 bubblegum pink. What I did is I replaced the decals with black Race Ink decals and not the red, white, and blue. Did the same thing for the forks. And I added the RADBMX Builds head badge there just to accent that. So we're gonna start with the front. What we have are currently some aluminum Rhino-Lite Sun wheels. I added the pink valve stem cap. But these have the Box 2 26 by 2.10 tires. These things are brand new. They just came out. Awesome tire, gum wall side. Love the way they look. This has a Cook Brothers headset on it. And if we come on down, first you'll see the RADBMX Builds bike shop sticker. But I have the brand new, nobody even has these and you can't get them yet, Cook Brothers Racing 3-piece cranks. These will be available soon. You got to just follow their website and see when they come out. For a chain ring and power disc, I have the Night Bike Company combination there, which is an excellent looking setup. And then I went with the MKS XC3 pedals. I had to order these from Japan. A little pricey, but I really like them. You come up the frame here, we got the polished Night Bike seat post clamp and Cook Brothers seat post. And then I added a padded cruiser type seat. Come up to the headset and the stem, you got a roughneck polished Night Bike Company and Cook Brothers stem cap for. Now, one of my favorite parts of this bike, the bars. These are Bassett Big Gulp style handlebars, reminiscent of the 80s CW Big Gulp bars or Slurpee bars. But these are Bassett's, and I bought them at Pedal Power BMX, and that's where you can get them if they have any left. They go real quick. Got some box grips, box component lever and brakes. And we'll come on down to the back where we have some polished Box 1 V brakes on this bike. And just rounding out back here, you got the custom Race Ink dropout armor that I did a video on. And these are outstanding. If you don't have a set of these and you have a Race Ink bike, you need to get a set. Put them on there and they are amazing. There it is, the bubblegum pink Race Ink 26-inch bike. Let's see the next one. I am really excited to bring you this next bike. When Race Ink came out with their new lineup, I jumped on immediately when they became available, the 26-inch Race Ink, and I bought the one with the Batima forks on it. I bought this bike with a full custom build in mind because I wanted to build one of the first custom Race Ink bigger wheel bikes. And honestly, there's a lot of nice ones out there, but I haven't seen one this custom yet. So tell me what you think about it in the comments below. I poured my heart and soul into this bike with an image in my mind on how I wanted it to look. The powder coat came out a bit darker than I wanted, but in the sunlight, the metallic in this powder coat is insane. It looks so good. Now, I'm not in the sunlight now, I'm in the shop, and I got a ring light for you, but it's just gonna be hard to tell you how amazing this powder coat is if it were in the sun. So behind me, the 26-inch Batima Race Ink bike. Finished out in metallic gold and dark blue. I put new decals on this bike, Race Ink in black, Batima in black, and then RADBMX Builds in black there as well. This has the Cook Brothers headset, the Cook Brothers stem nut, but the Night Bike roughneck stem. Up here on the bars, I used the box grips and the box brakes again with a beautiful blue brake cable, which goes into the frame and to the back. But you'll see, again, Night Bike seat post clamp. Powder coated the seat post. Got a quilted padded seat. Box V-brakes. And then I went a little crazy in the back. I got Profile Elite Racing hubs. you can see the billet BMX chain tensioner with the dropout armor, and then the Sun Rims Rhino Light wheels, black nipples, blue spokes, blue hubs, the Zoomy black and gold chain, and we're going to come up to the Starfighter Night Bike chain ring, and these are Redline 175 cranks that I powder coated and put a Race Ink custom decal in there. I also replaced the cone washer with a blue one and got rid of the red one. And then I powder coated my Well Go pedals and had the blue cages. Got some blue valve stem caps just for an added touch. And that's about it, but that is my 26-inch Batima Race Ink full custom build. The freewheel on this is super loud, I love it. So this bike is just a showstopper. You ride it down the beach walk and people just break their necks looking at it. They hear the freewheel and jump out of the way. So very proud of this bike and how it came out. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I have another bike, let's take a look. Okay, last but certainly not least, I can't have a bike collection without having some of these in it. These are the Zooz e-bikes. These are an electric BMX bike and they are in 24-inch. I own other electric bikes, but these bikes made me put those other bikes in the back of the shop, and they've been collecting dust, and I'm probably just gonna sell them on Marketplace locally because these bikes are that rad. They're that fun to ride and a blast to custom and just put your own touch on, which I'm gonna show you two. One is fairly stock with a few simple bolt-ons. The other one, I went a bit crazy on it and I really like the way it came out. You may have seen it. You've asked me about it. Here it is, the Zooz electric BMX bike. And just so you know, if you want one of these, they're real easy to get. They will be in the link below. Just go to the description, hit the drop down, and you're gonna see Zooz bikes. Go to their website, and if you decide to buy one, use my discount code RADBMXBUILDS and save $150 off each purchase. Any model, doesn't matter. So if you want one of these bikes, use that link to get there, read about them. If you want to buy one, use my discount code and save some money when you do it. Let's check them out. First, I'm going to show you a fairly stock one, and then we'll move in to my personal e-bike and my custom, full custom Zooz. These bikes come in chrome. First thing you're going to think is, oh, why is the seat like that, right? Well, why is it a banana type seat? So, right below it is the battery. Inside of here are all of the electronics to keep them off of the frame. Also, you can ride two people, and there's enough room on that seat to do that. This comes with a 3-piece crank. I added the gold chain ring. Here's the motor in the back. This is a pretty stock one that I'm showing you. I just added some decals and things to it. I added a gold gnarler stem, but all this is stock. I did add some Dino Pretzel style bars to it and gave my wife a bell so she can get people out of her way while riding it at the beach. And these bikes are a lot of fun. And I'll talk about the models, speeds, and range in a minute. Then you move into mine. This is a full custom powder coat, but I added some splatter paint to it. As you can see, I wanted more of that 80s, 90s neon look. I added a RADBMXBUILDS decal on the front, a GT mallet stem, some GT Performer bars, some flangeless Amy grips, some SE Bozak 24-inch tires that are a little bit wider. I added the valve stem dice cap, black chain ring, GT pedals, and I just love this bike. And in the sun, this thing is really super bright. Now let's talk about the models real quick. These ones behind me are the lower 250 size because I think they look a little more BMX. The battery's a bit smaller, the motor's a bit smaller, so it gives it more of that BMX appearance. These bikes will go about 22 miles an hour with a range in the 30s, almost to 40 miles, which is plenty for me down here at the beach. Now you can get up into the 750s. I haven't owned a 750 yet, but the range and speed are going to be a bit higher on that. I have owned some 1100s, the big dog, the top of the food chain for Zooz e-bikes. I had that bike well into the mid 30s in mile per hour, and the range would be in the high 40s on that bike. Now the motor, which is on the rear hub of these bikes, the bigger the bike, 750 up to 1100, that motor gets a little bigger. So it's pretty obvious at that point it's an electric bike. These 250s behind me, the only thing different looking about them is the seat. Other than that, people have no idea what it is. They think it's a bicycle. And you don't have to pedal. You can use just the throttle and zip on down the street, or you can use pedal assist, or you can just pedal them like a bike. It's completely up to you. I'm a little lazy. I like to use the throttle on my electric bike so I can race up and down the street with it. I've jumped it, jumped off jumps, curbs, whatever. They're strong, they're fast, agile, just an amazing bike. So Chris at Zooz, thank you so much. Love these bikes. I hope you appreciate the videos that I've made with them and the content. And man, I love the partnership we have in these bikes. I swear by them. So if you guys want one, please use that link below. Okay, so that's it for what I have currently here in my shop in Newport Beach. I do want to bring you a new video soon about the collection that I have in Arizona. There I have a lot of old school bikes. They're my personal collection. They're going to be 80s style 20-inch bikes. I also do have some 26-inchers in there that I built and I just couldn't let go, so I decided to hang on to them. I plan on making a trip out there and dropping off the Race Inc bikes, the 24-inch, adding those to the 24-inch dyno, adding those to my collection, and maybe bringing some of those old school 20-inchers back here for content for you. So if you like what you see and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please hit the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel and help me grow. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram, rad_BMX_builds, please do that so you can see what's coming up and what's going on right now. But hey, thanks again for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below, hit that like button, and as always, stay rad.